Hello everyone. Sorry here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have the pleasure of participating in a Pajama Crafter Stamps inspirational video hop where some of us are going to be showcasing the new April mini release, but the whole theme is going to be the greatest treasure. And let's see if you can figure out what my greatest treasure is as we go along. I will let you know at the end of the video if you haven't figured it out, but let's try to make a little game out of it. I'm going to be using some prickly pear stamp products, and what I started off with is the zipper die. I've never played with this before, and I was having a lot of fun with it and wanting to try something a little more challenging, and so I decided I'm going to create a zipper shaker card. And so what I've done is I put some acetate. This is of A2 size, so my panel and my acetate sheet is 5.5 by 4.25. And what I've doing now is I'm taking a 1/4-inch strip of gold cardstock and putting it right on the outer side edges of this card, because I'm going to be making this a full shaker card. I don't want you to see any of my foam tape. So the background is going to be the exact same paper you see there, and I'm just going to trim off that little bit there just so that you can still grab your finger there. So the reason I chose the gold is because my background, when you rip it open, is going to be that gold paper as well. So I'm just going to make it's going to almost look like a frame when you rip it open. Now the background, that was done off camera, and I created that using a couple colors of blue ink. And you just don't worry about getting a smooth coverage, and then you'll get this nice wispy, cloudy blue sky. What I did was I started light on the bottom and darker at the top, but when you started getting close to the top and it's getting darker, which is more noticeable, I just use the next shade down around the dark blotches, and it starts kind of making this sky look a little bit more realistic. The sentiment that I'm using to start off is from the Happy Beach Critters, and it just says, "A great day." So I'm playing with the sentiments that are in this package because it's actually broken up to create a bigger sentiment, but I'm going to be using a different stamp set to finish my sentiment. And so this is the card so far, and it's going to get even better. So what you see I've done there is I've just taken a pencil and marked off where the zipper is going to be, because I have this summer zipper stamp which has a sentiment celebrating you, and I need to know exactly where to put it. What I forgot to do is erase those pencil lines. So if you do this, do remember to erase the pencil lines because you will see it. But because it's a shaker card, it is not as noticeable. I only know it's there because I drew the lines. So definitely erase those when you're doing this yourself, but not a big deal if you forget. So there we go. So my sentiment's going to be a great day celebrating you. I was going to play around with putting the word it's at the beginning, but I didn't want to introduce another font in this bundle of sentiments. So as you can see here, as I put my foam tape, I am using a very thin foam tape, and it's so that I can get right in between those gold pieces of cardstock that I put down earlier. And that's to hide this foam tape, because I don't want the person who's ripping it to see the foam. I just want them to see the sequence or the shaking bits. Now I can go as high up as I want, but the further up you go from where you're going to tear, the weaker the card gets. So I wanted to make sure that there was a little bit of room for the sequence to shake up and down, but also make it so that the card is not going to be floppy when someone's holding it. And so I figured this was a good amount of space, and it doesn't give me room for a lot of shaker bits, but it will give me enough. So now we'll glue down my panel. This is going to be the background, and it's also A2 size, so 5.5 by 4.25. And it should match exactly the size of my card base. And then I will take out my MISTI And this is the reason I'm doing this is because then I can make sure everything is perfectly aligned before I push it together. Because this foam tape is particularly sticky, so once it touches, it is not as forgiving. And if you have ever tried to take a shaker card apart, it is not fun when sequins goes flying across the room as you try to save them. So do it like this. Because it's a perfect A2 size, I just stick it right in the corner of my Misty, and now it is perfectly set. To decorate it a little bit, I have colored this little pelican from the Happy Beach Critters. I absolutely love this stamp set. It is one of my favorites. And the pelican, the seagull, I will link to it in the description. It is so much fun. And then this is just me. I don't think we need to do this, but I just have a hard time when a card just has too much of the same thing. I kind of have to break it up. I could give or take this, but I just add a couple stripes that are the matching for when you open up the card, it'll match the background. But really it's just because my mind just can't let go of there being too much of one thing, which is the whole blue background. And I didn't want to introduce any more birds or anything because I can't block that zipper. So there we go. So now let's rip this open. And there you go. It opens up so easily. And there's my shaker card. A great day celebrating you. And that is the greatest treasure for me, is who I am going to give this to. And that is the special someone. Of course, I did add gold because you can't have treasure without gold, in my opinion. So I do hope you enjoyed this inspiration hop. There is actually some chances of winning some prizes. So make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to each of the channels that are hopping along. And there is a chance to win one of 2 gift cards valued $10 at Pajama Crafter Stamps. We are also over at Instagram, and we will be showing off the hop and more examples of the mini release as well, I believe. So I do hope you enjoyed this. Have fun, hop along, and have a great, beautiful day. Take care. Bye.